Hello creepy people, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, it is that time of month again. We are going to be doing the unboxing for the June 2021 Horror Pack. If you guys do not know what Horror Pack is a horror movie subscription service where every month you get 4 new DVD and or Blu-rays, and they are all horror movie genre related. If you guys are interested in checking out Horror Pack for yourself, I will have a link right at the top of the description box. Don't worry, it's not an affiliate link. I'm not making any money off of your clicks. It is just a link for you guys to easily access the site, check it out, and decide for yourself if you want to sign up. I have been doing Horror Pack unboxings on my channel for a couple years now, and I will never get sick of this. Like, the amount of movies that I have unboxed, the amount of movies that I have watched, and the amount of movies that I have never seen before but then have become my favorites, it's amazing. I think Horror Pack is great. It is a great way to expand your horror movie collection. It is a great way for you to see many different horror movies that you may have never heard of before. Now, I have quite a few movies that we need to review from the last couple of months, but I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently this month. I think what we're going to do is we're going to unbox the new movies right now, and then the second half of this video we will talk about some of the movies that I want to talk about from the last couple of months. So if you guys want to see just the reviews, you can skip to the end. If you guys just want to see the new movies, you can just watch halfway through. It's really all up to you, but I am very impatient. I am very anxious to open up the June pack. I'm very, very excited about it. So I'm just going to open this on up, and right when you open up your horror pack, right when you look inside, as you can see, there are 4 new Blu-rays in there. Now, I always get the Blu-ray pack because I have more DVDs than I do Blu-rays. So I like to get more Blu-rays than DVDs, which my Blu-ray collection is very quickly catching up with my DVD collection, I must say, and I cannot wait. And also, in every single horror pack, you also get a Horror Pack limited edition movie, which is kind of like a cheaper budget B-movie type movie, and sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're not. But the one thing that you know about Horror Pack is every month you are going to get a new Horror Pack limited edition in here, and the other movies are, you know, like I said, movies that you have heard of before that are very mainstream, and other movies that you may not have heard of before but may become your favorites. So we have 4 movies in here. It looks like we have one with a slipcover, and I am going to take the one second from the bottom. I'm just gonna pull it out, and the first movie that we got for June 2021 is, this is the Poltergeist Diaries, and this is the Horror Pack limited edition. So the very first movie that we pulled out of here is in fact the Horror Pack limited edition. Here is what the cover of this one looks like right here. Looks very interesting. Poltergeists are always kind of creepy, so this actually may be a really, really good one. On the back it says, after moving to an isolated cabin, Jacob Taylor vanishes without a trace. With the help of footage he leaves behind, his family members, friends, and a detective try to find answers to the strange events that are centered around him. So this is going to be very interesting. Poltergeists are something for me that are very interesting, very confusing, and very captivating. So I feel like this is going to be a good one. Now, as always, I can't say if I'm going to like it right off the bat, but I will, of course, always watch these, and I will always report back to you guys next month and let you know what I think of it. But the second one, I think I'm going to take the one with the slip cover, because those are, I don't know what it is about slip covers, they get me. They get me. And this one is, oh, okay, so the next one we got is a Shudder original, and this is the movie Gwen. Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of this movie before. Have you guys ever seen this? Now, I do subscribe to Shudder. I don't watch Shudder very often. I should really honestly unsubscribe to save myself some money, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't get into Shudder, but this one is a Shudder original. It looks very interesting. I really like the cover art. Here is what the back of the movie looks like. You guys will have to let me know if you have ever heard of this or if you have ever seen this. On the back it says, Gwen is a young girl whose life seems to be collapsing around her, struggling with her mother's mysterious illness, her father's absence, and a group of angry villagers threatening to take her farm. Gwen must find the strength to guide her family through the darkness. But as a malevolent presence innocence begins to take grip of her home, it becomes apparent there is a greater evil that may be too strong to overcome. So this doesn't really sound like a true horror movie. I mean, I'm sure there will be like some thrilling parts in here. It doesn't really sound like a movie that I would typically watch very often, but that's the thing about Horror Pack, is you sit down, you watch it, and sometimes you surprise yourself. So this one sounds interesting. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever seen this, if you think I would like it. I'm very, very curious to know. All right, guys, we only have 2 movies left. Let's see what we're going to get. I'm going to take the one off of the very top. And the third movie that we got for June 2021 is... Oh my god, this is cool. Okay, this is fucking rad. Okay, so the next movie that we got is the original Child's Play. Now, if you guys don't know this about me, Michael Myers and Chucky are my top 2 favorite horror movie villains, my favorite franchises of all time. I do own the entire Chucky, like, box set collection on DVD, and now I have, like, kind of a remastered Blu-ray of Child's Play. I love the original Child's Play. It is literally like one of my favorite movies. I love the 80s. I love the old school feel of it. And this one has a really cool cover because it's almost like Chucky in a like sugar skull look. It's very interesting. I almost didn't recognize it at first, but this is freaking awesome. Oh, okay. And when you open it up, obviously we have the Blu-ray in here, which you guys, you bet your ass I'm going to be watching that. On the inside, it has this little book, and it's called Color Your Own Movie Cover. And it's like this little book right here. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. So on the inside, we have a bunch of different movie covers that you can actually color yourself. That is really cool. So Black Swan, Vampire Hunter, Child's Play. Ooh, we have Carrie over here. Really, really cool. Oh, this is so fun. So you can like color while you're watching the movies. This is so cool. I've never seen this in a Blu-ray before. Very, very interesting. Very, very cool. Jennifer's Body, Jeepers Creepers. Let's see what else we got in here. Young Frankenstein, Wrong Turn. Ooh, I love those movies. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this is actually really, really cool. I love this. Very, very cool. We have never gotten this before. Have you guys ever gotten anything like this in a Blu-ray before? I know I haven't, so this is very intriguing to me. So definitely this one is totally a favorite, and this just adds right on top of it. That is super, super cool. All right, guys, we have 1 movie left, so let's go ahead and pull it out and see what we have in here. And the final movie that we got for June of 2021 is ta-da, Spare Parts. This doesn't look like a horror movie at all. Is that Uma Thurman? Well, this movie was made in 2020. It is a Raven Banner film, made in Canada. I have absolutely no idea what the heck this movie is about. I've literally never heard of this before. Have you guys ever heard of this movie before? Let's go ahead and read what it says on the back. So it says, in a godforsaken bar in the middle of nowhere, an all-girl band, Miss 45, rips the stage apart with their punk spirit. Fuck yeah. The performance impresses an enthusiastic fan who lures the girls into a trap. Slowly they begin to gain consciousness and, in total shock, realize their arms have all been replaced with axes and chainsaws to fight gladiator style in a junkyard arena owned by a sadistic emperor, forcing them into the battle of their lives with one prize in mind: their freedom. It doesn't really sound like a horror film, but what I will say is this sounds like a movie that my boyfriend would really like, so I might watch this with him because this just sounds right up his alley. This isn't Uma Thurman, but okay, seriously, come on, level with me. Doesn't that look just like Uma Thurman? I literally thought that was her, and I thought that was Winona Ryder. Am I crazy? I swear, it looks just like them. This movie sounds interesting. Like I said, I think my boyfriend will really enjoy this. Like, you know, hot-ass bitches with some tools on their arms. Like, that totally just sounds like something he would like. And I'll definitely watch it, but I don't have a lot of hopes that I will really like this movie. Just gonna put that out there right now. I really like true classic horror films, and this doesn't really fall into that category for me. Guys, so those were all of the new movies that we got for June of 2021. Very, very good picks. I think this was a very good pack. I'm very interested to watch these and see what comes of this. I'm really actually excited to watch the Horror Pack Limited Edition, the Poltergeist Diaries. I think that sounds interesting. I am very, very excited about the Child's Play Blu-ray. I literally want to just stop filming and watch this right now. I fuck with Child's Play, dude. I love it so much. Okay, so now we are going to jump into the second portion of this video, and this is the part of the video where we're going to be talking about some of the April and May movies that we got. The first one I want to talk about is The Last Exorcism Part 2. If you guys remember me getting this, I was very excited about it, and I have seen this movie before, but I will say, watching it again for the second time, it was a lot better than I remember. So I did give this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed watching this one. I wish I had the first one. I might have the first one, but I'm not 100% sure. I would really like to have the first one as well, because I very much enjoyed watching part 2 again. This one was really, really good. So, of course, we got the movie 47 Meters Down last month. This movie is so freaking creepy, and with Shark Week coming up July 11th, whoop, whoop, it's just such an appropriate movie to have, an appropriate movie to watch. I love 47 Meters Down, The Meg, The Shallows, that's another really good one. The next one I want to talk about that you guys were also very interested in was the movie Trick. Now, I did give this one 3 out of 5 stars. This is kind of like a Halloween themed movie, which you guys know Halloween is my favorite season. We're coming up very, very close to Halloween time, and I'm so pumped. Basically, this movie is about a mass murder that happened on Halloween, and it keeps happening every Halloween. Same kind of mysterious mass murders keep happening, and it's all about this one bad guy named Trick. The beginning of the movie was a really, really good beginning. I loved the beginning of this movie. It really kind of opened the movie up and made it really exciting to watch. And what's interesting about this bad guy named Trick is every single Halloween, every time he commits a new mass murder, he always has different kind of face paint on, so it makes it harder for investigators to figure out who Trick actually is. Now, you would think this whole movie is just about one murderer named Trick who has just some psychological issues, but there's actually an entire cult of Tricks. Many different people who kind of form this group who every Halloween take turns you know, doing these murders, and it's honestly a twist that you really wouldn't expect. This guy in the movie right here, his name is Officer Denver. He literally makes it like his whole life mission to figure out who Trick is, why he's doing this, and to put a complete stop to it. It is a very like suspenseful movie in some parts, but it definitely wasn't my favorite. I didn't like enjoy watching it a whole lot. Ending was very good, even though it did feel kind of incomplete, but it was also very suspenseful at the same time. So I did give this one 3 out of 5 stars. The next movie that I want to talk about is one that we also got in the May pack, and this is the movie The Ascent. I did give this one 3 out of 5 stars as well. I really liked the beginning of this movie because it really kind of broke down and it really kind of explained exorcisms, which you guys know I find very, very interesting. But it's basically about a dad and a son, and the dad struggles with schizophrenia, and his son starts talking to people that aren't there, starts having conversations, weird things start happening, and the dad is super worried that his son may have schizophrenia as well, because he does, so he's afraid that he may have passed it along to his son. But things start getting weirder and weirder, and a priest comes into play, and this priest was recently imprisoned for the death of a 5-year-old happened during a failed exorcism, and the priest is almost positive that this little boy is suffering from a demonic possession and not schizophrenia. Once things start getting weirder and weirder, the dad decides to bring in the priest to kind of, you know, evaluate him, and that's when the priest decides that this boy needs an exorcism. Now, the exorcism part for me was very anticlimactic. It was very boring. I feel like once you see things like, you know, The Possession or the original Exorcist from the 70s, it takes a lot to really kind of impress me when it comes to an exorcism scene. It did look pretty creepy. Like, there was one part where he did kind of look like this, and it was a little bit creepy, so I thought that part was really cool. It did have a very good ending. There were a few really, really good jump scares in this as well. And there is a strange twist at the end where it actually turns out that the dad was possessed the entire time and there was nothing wrong with the son at all. Like, everything that was happening was all manifesting from the dad's mind. It was very kind of confusing, and it was one of those movies where you really kind of had to hone in and pay attention to what you were watching, because otherwise it would be very hard to follow. But there is a very interesting twist at the end. I don't think I would ever watch this movie again personally. It definitely wasn't my favorite. Next movie I want to talk about, and this one I was actually very pleasantly surprised with, and a lot of you guys told me that I probably wouldn't like this movie, but that is A Night in the Woods. I actually gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, and I feel like the first thing I picked up on this movie is that basically it's like a camping trip where this girl, her boyfriend, fiance, and her cousin all go for like this camping trip in the night in the woods, where the boyfriend knows the woods really well. He's like, oh, we camp here all the time, blah, blah, blah. Like, it'll be fine. So they all go, all 3 of them, and right away the first thing I picked up is that there is a very strange, uncomfortable vibe with the girlfriend and her cousin. It just like kind of rubbed me the wrong way because they were like a little too close, you know what I'm saying? This is one of your typical found footage movies like Blair Witch Project, you know, things like that. So some of the footage is a little bit boring because it's kind of like, you know, home movie stuff that you don't really find interesting, but to them it's interesting, you know what I mean? The camera work is a little bit shaky. The angles aren't that great because, you know, it's found footage, right? So it's not like this huge production with this big camera and everything. Now, I will say that this movie does get pretty suspenseful and intense at times. Like, I really enjoyed those parts, and that whole weird vibe that I told you about between the girlfriend and her cousin, there's definitely something going on there, and it's kind of fucked up. Like, I was like, what, girl? We don't suck dick of family members, alright? Not actually cousins. That is a lie she told to her boyfriend so she could bring him, when in reality this cousin is actually not a cousin at all, but it is actually someone she lost her virginity to. It's like, it's some drama, okay? Like, it's spilling the tea. And then the last movie I want to talk about is the Horror Pack Limited Edition, which is Ashburn Waters. I gave this one 2 out of 5 stars. Oh my gosh, I'm literally like remembering watching this movie and just like, what the fuck? Like, this movie is just, no. So basically it's about a group of like high school friends that, you know, kind of got back together and they go on this camping trip. I'm pretty sure this takes place in Australia, New Zealand. I could be wrong on that. It does have a very suspenseful beginning. A lot of the movies that we got and a lot of movies that I watched, the beginnings were really good, and then it just very, like, you know, it started to go downhill from there. I will say, though, the guy in this movie, his name is Brett. I think that, yes, his name is Brett. He's hot as shit. Like, I saw him come on camera, and I was like, hey, Brett, how you doing? There is a lot of drama in this friend group. Like, I don't know how they were all ever friends to begin with, because there's just issues with everyone. Like, it seems like nobody likes each other, so I'm like, whose idea was it to go on this camping trip when literally nobody likes each other? That was, I don't understand. There's also this strange man that is staying on the property that they don't really know who he is or where he came from or if he should even be there. And once one of the first friends die, they assume that it is this random man staying on the property and they think he's a murderer. It's actually not him at all. The weird guy staying on this property is actually there to protect people from, I kid you not, ready for this? Sit down, man, it's an intense one. A weird flying leaf creature. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. It's not scary. It is incredibly cheesy. The demon or the whatever the fuck this creature was so incredibly poorly done. What it made me think of is if you ever gone hunting and you're kind of in, like, you really need to stay hidden and you buy those suits that are covered in like moss and sticks and leaves and stuff to kind of keep you camouflaged from whatever you're hunting. That is literally what this creature looked like. I'm gonna Google a picture. That, I kid you not, you guys, that is exactly what the villain in this movie looked like. Like, what the fuck? And it had, like, giant glowing eyes. Like, it just looked so fucking stupid. And I almost couldn't believe it when I saw it with my own eyes. I was like, you cannot be serious. Like, they couldn't do any better than that. They couldn't make it any creepier than that. Yeah, and apparently it's supposed to be this demon. This movie was just honestly so bad. I think the only thing that saved it was like the sex scene. And the acting honestly wasn't too bad. I was actually pretty impressed. Ooh, shit, falling. I was actually pretty impressed with the acting, but to be perfectly honest with you, the demon or the creature literally ruined this whole entire movie for me. Like, it was so bad. That is it, you guys. Those are all of the reviews from the last couple of months. Now, I do still have a couple of movies that I need to watch. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think of the new movies that we got. Let me know down in the comments of some of the reviews that I did. Did you guys agree with my reviews? Did you not agree with my reviews? Just make sure you sound off down below as per usual. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, make sure to go down and give this video a huge thumbs up. If you are new to my channel and you like horror themed content, then make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here. But as the rest of you, I love you guys oh so very much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys, and remember to stay creepy.